Georgia is not even escaping. It's just yuck. It's just yuck. Defensively, yuck. I'm comfortable at this point saying defensive back is officially a concern. Officially a concern. And it's not just what we've been seeing for weeks past, which is like, all right, yeah, you're giving up 8-yard hitches when you're in cover 4. I'd like you to break on the football. I really would. But I'm understanding of as to why you're giving that up. Y'all were busting coverages yesterday. Georgia, multiple busted coverages. Guys running butt-ass naked into the back end against Georgia. That's a problem. That's concerning. That's scary, all right? Especially considering the opponent coming up, all right? That's a big problem. It wasn't just busted coverages, though. It wasn't that. Y'all losing 50-50 balls left and right at corner, all of you. Dalen, Daniel, Julian. Ellis 1-1, ball was underthrown. All of you. All of you losing 50-50 balls left and right. Missed tackles have been talked about on this network. You are huntable for the first time, long time. Huntable in the back end. That should create some fear. That I would imagine. All right, and it wasn't just it shouldn't create fear for you. It was creating confidence in Mississippi State as play callers. They started to take shots on you. They started to drive the ball down the field with a quarterback who last week against Texas, they ran the ball 50 times down 3 scores. They were shortening the game the last 2 weeks. They got confidence against you. That's a concern. All right, and that's a reality. I don't know the answers yet. We're going to get into the film this week, and we're going to find out what the problem is. But these weren't short shots, guys. These were not short shots that they were taking on you. They were taking the top off the defense and attacking you in these 50-50 situations. You did gift them 14 points, and this is what Kirby talked about Saturday after the game. You gifted them 14 points. One possession, you busted coverages twice on 2 plays. And give them credit, they hit those wide open ass receivers. But you busting coverages and giving up a touchdown, that's not Georgia standard. All right, that's not okay. All right, it's not an excuse to say you gave it to them, but you gave it to them. You also gave them a touchdown on 2 3rd and 9s. I think a roughing the passer, same kind of situation Alabama had 2 weeks in a row on 3rd and 9. And then another 3rd and long, you give up a penalty of some sorts. I can't quite remember what it was, but they go on to score on that possession. So you're extending drives for them. You're giving them explosives. That ain't good, but that's just as concerning as the rest of the explosives that they earned on your ass. I was talking to somebody about this last night. College football and football in general nowadays has changed so much in the sense that, and it's the reason the explosive data points are important. You flip fields so quickly now, all it takes is one play. All it takes is, I'm running a field fade on Jonel Aguero. The slot receiver makes an incredible play, 40-yard explosive. Now we're moving. We get right on the ball in a no-huddle situation. We run the ball, 9-yard gain, boom. Now we're in field goal range. All right, and now we get into our red zone package where we've been practicing really all week to really design winners in this situation, and now it's coordinator versus coordinator. All right, and they won some of those matchups on you guys in the red zone too. They out-schemed you. Coach had a good plan on the other side, probably because they ain't really been there a lot this year, but when they get there, they're great. Mississippi State was 11 of 14 touchdowns to field goal ratio, right? They scored 11 touchdowns to just 3 field goals when they got into the red zone. They were 14 for 14 going into this football game. What does that tell you? If they get there, they're good. So they got there. They were good there. The problem was how they got there, the explosives, right? Continuing. I think this is the reality, and this is something that I've talked about on this network leading up to this football game. This is not an imperfect football team. Not at all. They have a week where they're explosive on offense, but they can't stop explosives on defense. This week. They have a week where they have separation at wide receiver, but they can't protect to save their lives consistently. They have a week where, this week they can protect, but now we can't create separation. They have a week where, now on the defensive side of the football, we can create pressure, but we can't cover, right? It's like consistently inconsistent on both sides of the football. They are not great right now, but they're really good. I think as a Georgia analyst and as someone, and you don't even have to be a Georgia fan or a Georgia observer or a Georgia analyst. You could be a national host like I'll talk to you right now as one. If you've watched Georgia football for the last several years, they've been a great football team that consistently executes, period. Period, point blank. They do not have weekends or moments of inconsistency. They might have moments where they're struggling offensively or they're staggering or they might be stagnant or whatever, but they're not having moments of or reasons of inconsistencies of why they're bad. This week we're bad here. Next week we might be bad at a whole nother position or a whole nother area. Somebody might attack us differently. Consistently, inconsistently, they are good, but not great. And I look around the rest of college football, guys, and I'll be honest, I don't see a lot of great football teams. I see a lot of football teams that have moments of exposure. We've seen it with Miami. We've definitely seen it with Alabama. We know Tennessee and Ole Miss have their flaws. We know Ohio State, now that they've actually played somebody, we know that Ohio State has issues. We've seen Oregon's issues. No one truly believes in Penn State. LSU, does anybody really feel good about that one? Who is consistently great right now in college football? I'll wait for an answer because there is one. There's one answer. There's one team that has been consistently, no doubt about it, handled their business every single week in a professional and consistently great manner. It's the Texas Longhorns. It's the Texas Longhorns, and they dominated again this weekend. And I know you look at the score, you'll say, 34-3, Oklahoma's offense, anemic. Oklahoma's offense, atrocious. Yes. Oklahoma's offense is atrocious. Guys, this game could have been 50-3. 50-3. The two stops. At one point in this football game, to close the first half, Texas scores touchdowns on 3 of 4 possessions. To start the second half, they have a 10-play drive that turns over on downs. They have an 11-play drive that ends in a field goal. Buddy, they were up 3 scores walking the football on Oklahoma. And then continued the rest of the football game to just walk the football game on Oklahoma, enjoying corn dogs on the sideline. Texas is the only football team in college football right now that is 100% every single week handling business. Handling business. And you play them this week, Georgia. You play them this week. I'm excited to break it down. I don't know if you will be.